Start recording.
Yes, done.
Okay, great. Super. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for your help. So, once again, welcome all of you to this series on the personal branding concept, which is for me the most important concept, no matter what age you are. But since most of you are very young and in the initial years of your career, many of you are students, I think so. This is an extremely important concept. Hopefully, we will be able to add some value to you and it will help you in your careers as you go forward. So let me give you a quick recap. I spoke about the acronym PEOPLE as far as the non-verbal cues are concerned and how it builds the first impression. And we are talking about the concept that I will not get a second chance to make the first impression. So anyone remembers the acronym PEOPLE? What does P stand for?
Posture.
Fantastic, very good. So P is postures, and how would you differentiate between a posture and a gesture? With an example, quick one.
For example, can I try?
Yeah, please.
For example, if I see you and I want to invite you into a room, so I do a gesture to invite you in. And posture is if I'm sitting, if I have a slouched back and not a straight one, so that differentiates postures.
Correct, very nice. So posture basically is the way you sit or stand, and gestures are, it could be your facial gestures, it could be gestures with your hand, and so on and so forth, right? So I don't know about you, but while we were in school, and if we got a new watch, right? So we would do all the gestures to show to my friends that I have got a new watch. So I'll do like this, right? And maybe if you have got a new ring, you would want to show to your friends that I have a new ring, and you say ow 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 ow. So that's also a gesture, right? And nowadays people kind of show their phone, and if it's an Apple phone, it could be a duplicate Apple phone, but they still want to show that the Apple logo and all of that, right? So a lot of things people do. I don't know why they do what they do, but anyway. So P is posture. That is right. What is E?
Eye contact.
Fantastic. How should our eye contact be? What is a good length of time to maintain a meaningful eye contact? ये मैंने cover किया था. About 3 to 5 seconds. Yeah, so it should be a good eye contact. Don't stare at the other person. Staring is bad. You need to look nice with respect into the other person's eyes, and both your ears should be visible to the other person. In virtual session, I still do not know where do I see, right? Do I see into my screen? Do I see into my laptop camera? I still have not figured out what is the right way to maintain eye contact. I have searched so many places, spoken to so many people, but no one seems to have the right answer. And so virtually it is still, for me, it's a mystery that what should be the correct eye contact so that the other person feels engaged. And face to face, it's that much more easier. You're looking at the person and ensure that both your ears should be visible to the person with whom you are talking, right? So eye contact, very important. Don't have fleeting eye contacts. Have a fixated eye contact, right? So don't keep on fleeting your eye contact from one part to the other. So stay firm, stay in line, and that shows confidence, and also shows that you are respecting the other person. So that was E. What is O?
Orientation.
Fantastic, very nice. What is orientation? Anyone? Quick.
Orientation is if there's a person in front of me, so I should be facing that person, right? So my shoulders should be towards that person.
That's right. So shoulders squared. Correct. Prakriti remembers that. Very nice. So I should not be at an angle with that person. My shoulders should be squared to the other person. Or in simple words, my ears should be visible to the other person. So the orientation is is important, right? And what is the other P?
Proximity.
Correct, right? So you have your inner circle, you have your social circle, and you have your um, public circle, if I got that right. But anyways, so for Indians, the proximity is about 4 feet, right? So don't be too close to the person. I'm talking about professional relations. I'm not talking about friends and family, right? So it's hence the importance of the handshake. You have a handshake which is a straight handshake. So your hand straight and the other person's hand straight. So between the two of you, there would be approximately about 4 feet of distance. That's a good distance. So that's proximity. And if you're too close to the other person, like Asians, we have about 4 feet of distance. Italians, Australians, people from that part of the world, they don't have 4 feet. They will be much closer to you. Yeah, so we need to have that cultural sensitization as well. Very, very important. What is the next alphabet? L?
Sir, looks.
Very nice, very nice. I like people who are writing notes. Thank you, Seemaji. Right? So your looks and your appearance. So I said for girls, when you are making a presentation, don't wear long earrings, because when your face moves, so the earrings also dangles, and it's kind of a distraction. And if you're wearing a makeup, don't wear a very heavy makeup. Yeah, so be natural as far as possible, right? So your look should be good. I'm not saying you need to look beautiful. I'm saying that you need to look natural, because there is a lot of beauty when a person is natural, and there isn't much beauty when people are acting fake and they are behaving in an artificial manner. And the last E was
Expression of emotions.
fantastic. Very nice. Super. I'm so happy that people are making notes. Expressions of emotions. Very nice, right? So let's move forward. And I did speak about handshake. I spoke about palm to palm. Do you remember this?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then we said it needs to be vertical. So 90 degrees to the floor, and thumb pointing skyward. We did all of that. And so let me share some very interesting handshakes that we experience on a day-to-day basis. This is the finger squeeze, not a good handshake. That means the other person is trying to put his or her hand into your hand, and before the webbing touches each other, you are kind of closing in and crushing his or her fingers. Not a good handshake. So it could be a finger squeeze or a finger crush. There are some people who are like the bone crushers. Yeah, so they want to show that macho effect, right? So they'll press it really hard. No, don't be a bone crusher. There are some people, I'm really having those images in my mind as I talk about the next one. They are the pull-in people. So they'll pull you in, right? They're so excited and they literally pull you in, and you will say, hold on, bhai, hold on. Itna excitement bhi acha nahi hai, right? And I'm sure you would also know some people who shake hands like this. Then there is what I call the political handshake, right? So I put my handshake, I give my hand, you give your hand, and then I cover your hand with my hand, and you cover your hand with my hand. So all the 4 hands are there, and that means it's a non-verbal communication that we are not being truthful, right? And especially if you look at politicians, there are some master politicians who have kind of mastered the art of faking it, but most of them will you can see an Indian prime minister shaking hands with a Pakistani prime minister. You can go and check out that that handshake does not have that genuinity, does not have that authenticity, right? Don't get politically sensitive. We are just learning a particular uh, thing that we should avoid when we are shaking hands, right? So that is a two-handed shake, not to do it. This is a topper. That means my hand is on top of your hand. So it's a non-verbal way of communicating that I'm going to dominate this discussion. So if your hand is on top of my hand, you are communicating non-verbally to me that you are going to dominate this discussion. So that's not right. It has to be parallel, palm to palm, vertically, 90 degrees to the floor, right? So it has to be like this, not like this, not like this. Yeah? So the topper is there, and this is the palm pinch. There are a lot of people, matlab, there is no energy in their hand, right? So they just hang their hand. It's called the palm pinch, or also it is called the lymph fish, right? It's like a there is absolutely no energy in that hand. Not the right way to do it, right? And if you want to understand the correct handshake, this is how we do it. And for all the boys on the call, and even girls, when you wear a Western outfit, the length of the blazer or the suit, the coat, the blazer or the coat, this is exactly the right length. It should not be getting into your thumb area, right? So when you are giving measurements for a blazer or a coat, you keep your right hand or left hand straight, and it would obviously go below your waist, and then you put your thumb down. So the length of that blazer or coat should be your straight hand and an extension of your thumb. Yes, if this is my hand, yeah, so this is the length of my hand, and then I extend my thumb. So from my shoulder, if this is my shoulder, this is my entire hand, and I extend a thumb. So from my shoulder point to the end of my thumb. So this is a good length, yeah, for your blazer. And I've already spoken about the tie and all of this, right? So we have seen this. I shared with you, how do you fold sleeves, right? And many of us don't know this, right? We fold one cuff and then the other cuff. No, but this is how you do it. We have kind of covered all of this. And so let me go to the other part of what I want to share with you. Give me a second. And we have kind of covered all of this. So I need to go into your let me share this one more time. Remember, where is it gone? Where is, remember this model? Yes, no? So where should I be? In this quadrant. Are you able to listen to me? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Correct, good. Because again, I'm speaking into a laptop and I've got no idea whether my voice is reaching you or not. But yeah, so we should not be coming across as people who are confident but boring and
it's
anxious.
This moment, isn't it?
Nor anxious.
I'm looking at you.
Okay, so I don't know. There is a video that started playing. I won't play that video, right? And so we should be here, right? And we looked at all those concepts thus far. And one more time, reiterating the fact that in communications, words are only 7% important. My tonality is extremely important, and my body language, right? And we have seen this, so keep that in mind, right? And now I hope you get this sentence in your head, that products are made in the factory, but brands are made in the mind. In terms of marketing, if any one of you is doing an MBA or have studied marketing management, it is also called as positioning. So there are the 4 P's of marketing. Now there are 7 P's of marketing. Then there are now the 9 P's of marketing, whatever number of P's of marketing, but one of the P's of marketing is positioning. And any idea what is positioning? If any one of you has studied your MBA or management studies?
I think when you're talking about positioning, who are the target audience that you're looking for? So if it
No,
is
no,
a
no, 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 no.
no,
Is
1,000 rupees
compare
more.
there is in the
1,000 rupees more
marketplace.
fine.
Yeah, there are in a
sorry.
marketplace. In a marketplace, there are number of uh, products of the brand similar. In that, where exactly your product is feature wise,
Okay.
price wise, how do you
Okay.
exactly or the advantage wise you position your product or you talk about it, that's the position.
Okay. So that is one answer. I think so. Someone raised a Naina. If you would want to share, please unmute and speak.
Positioning basically means creating an image in the mind of the person where the suppose as an example Johnson and Johnson. If I have a baby, I will prefer the Johnson Johnson because that has position in my mind.
That's right. So absolutely, Naina. So 100 on 100 marks for you. So when we talk about positioning, positioning is nothing but the image that your customers has about your brand. So when you think of Tata's, the word that comes to your mind is trust. So that's positioning. So what is the image that your stakeholders have in your mind? That is positioning. So we are not a product, we are people. And the brand that I'm talking about, the brand image that we are talking about, the brand equity that we will discuss, the brand consideration that we will discuss later on, all that depends upon what is the image people have about you. And that image, that positioning of you in the minds of your stakeholders will determine whether they will hire you, they will work with you, they'll go out with you, they will have any kind of relationship with you or associations with you. So it is extremely, extremely important. Yeah. So get this thought in your mind that brands are created in the mind, not anywhere else, right? So let's continue the concept of personal branding. I have in total more than 350 slides for all of you. So this is going to continue for a while. I have also built what some of you may know, may not know. It's a concept called your reputation funnel. So this is kind of a funnel. Yeah. So there are a lot of inputs that go into a funnel. So these are your inputs and this is your output. So in between the input and the output is a space where what happens? It's called your throughput. If you know if you are from manufacturing or if you know your mechanical engineering or whatever it is, so how is the input being processed? In simple words, what is the throughput that is happening? So input, throughput, output. So what is the reputation that you are building, and how do I build a reputation which is the correct reputation? Because remember, we saw in the first part of this series that a brand is an expectation of an experience. Remember, if you have your notes, you can check it out. We said brand is a promise, right? So it is very, very important that I build my reputation in the right manner. The perception that people have about me should be my reality. And it takes a lot of work to ensure that there is no gap between the perception and the reality. So there has to be as minimal a delta as possible, right? Talking
Anand,
about yes.
I think credibility comes here because last time you ended the session asking us a question, what is credibility? So that will also come here, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Brand will
Credibility
be
will be an
based.
input to your reputation funnel.
Okay.
So what is credibility? Chalo, batao.
I thought credibility can be defined as building dependability and trust over a period of time. So if you
Too
can
much of
trust me, not
English.
just
Too much of English.
uh,
Make it practical. Conceptually, you're 100% right.
so just to make it simple, you gave me a task and I did it 100 on 100 times, then you will find me credible.
I will find you dependable. not
Okay,
credible.
and so like, do I have to do that task very well for it to be credible also?
Okay, so
Or is
keep it. Anyone, I
or is
gave you
it
this homework. Thank you for reminding that. I actually forgot that, Prakriti. Thank you for reminding. Anyone else who has done this homework?
no, not the homework, but I would say like you promise and you deliver is what credibility is.
Kind of, sir. Kind of. You are close. So to make it simple, creditability is the values that you talk about in action. Simple. Creditability is different, dependability is different, reliability is different. So if you're talking about trust, like Prakriti spoke about the trust, I'm not sure whether I've shared this with you or not. If trust were to become a formula, if I were to create a formula for trust, what would be the ingredients that make trust? Your creditability, your character, your commitment, your communication, so on and so forth, plus your brutal honesty, plus your reliability, plus your intimacy. These four factors build trust, divided by self orientation or selfishness or self centeredness or thinking always that what is in it for me. Those thoughts reduce trust. But intimacy, knowing the person beyond the professional. I just did a course on LinkedIn Learning, which was just an amazing course, learned so many new things. I did about 3 days back. That how do you know the person behind the professional? Very important. Most managers don't do that today. How do you build your reliability? How are you portraying yourself as an honest person? And I use that adjective, brutally honest. And then your C is having multiple things like your credibility, your character, your communication, your competence, your commitment. All this goes into building trust. Hence, it's a process. And we all need to learn how to trust. I'll repeat, we need to learn how to trust, because for decades and centuries, we have been brainwashed to doubt people. Don't doubt people, trust people. Because when you doubt someone, it saps energy out of them. Organizational energy is sapped out, national energy is sapped out. I need to trust, learn to trust. Don't doubt people, right? And that's a big thing. But yeah, that's not a part of what we are learning right now. But thank you, Prakriti, for at least attempting and thinking about the homework that I gave you. It is so very important that we realize the importance of being credible, and that's the reputation that you may have, right? And you would want to build a reputation. Think about it. When people are going to hire you, when they think about you, what is that word that comes in their mind? If the word that comes in their mind is, okay, this person stands for quality, this person stands for excellence, this person stands for hard work, this person stands for trustworthiness, this person stands for respect, this person stands for integrity, chances are that they will recommend you. If any one of you is on this call is in the field of sales or marketing, you would want your customers to give you references. And I spent 18 years in sales and I understand the importance of references. They will only give you references when they find you a person who is trustworthy, who can be trusted, is a person of integrity, is a person of commitment, and all those points that I just said. And every time we play short, we take shortcuts, we are destroying our own reputation. And hence, salespeople find it very difficult to continue selling because they just want to go and sell a product to someone no matter what. That hurts them in their career in the long term. Yeah, so it's extremely important that you pay attention to all these points. And moving on, let me today speak about the fact that you are unique, and I have spelled unique slightly differently. So there are 5 elements in us that are unique to us. No one else has it. Any idea what are those 5 elements?
Yes, I think you're talking about fingerprint and eye
Correct,
print and
correct. And
And the look even for that matter.
I think you said
What?
smell also the last time.
smell, body odor, body odor.
Yes.
What else?
Voice,
Voice print. Correct. Shyam, very nice. What else? So our DNA is unique. Yeah. What else is unique? Your fingerprint is unique. What else is unique? Your voice print is unique. What else is unique?
Eyeball.
Your pupil is unique. What else is unique? Your body odor is unique. What else is unique? Come on, I'm talking about our uniqueness. Even your ear lobes. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? काननी बुट्टी आपने कही है ना गुजराती में. Right, so your earlobes are also unique, right? And so these are your 5 unique points, and let's get into this. Now, help me understand what makes you unique apart from this 5, 6, 7 points that I just shared.
I think experiences make you unique because your experience and my experience will be different, even for the
Okay.
same thing, maybe school.
Yeah, in school I was an outstanding student. You were not. I was an absolutely outstanding student. I stood out of the class for most of my 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th standards. So you were not an outstanding student. Yes, our experience, some of you did not get it, that's okay. Our experiences makes us unique.
Are you
What
talking
else?
about external use first? These 5 differences or uniqueness you talked about, they are external in a way, I would say.
That's right, that's right, that's right, that's
And
right.
now the real one, what you are asking is the internal ones, something like that.
Correct, correct. Or your characteristics.
Okay, yeah.
So like your experience could make you unique. Your exposure could be something unique to you.
The way
Come
you are
on, make
brought
it participative, all of you. We are 30
Your
something of
values,
us on this call.
values,
Your values, that's good answer. That's a good answer. Yes, what else?
Excellence in the field.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your achievements, your competencies, your accomplishments in a particular field. Okay.
personality,
Your personality makes you unique. That's an interesting statement, but okay. Hold on to that. Put that as a question that I have to answer. What are the different types of personality and where do I fit into that personality? I'll do a series on that. So make a note of it. We can schedule a session around that. What else? Okay, so let's look at some points. Thank you for making it participative. One more time, requesting everyone to please write notes. Number 1, building upon that interactivity. If I ask 5 people what they think you are good at, what would they say? You may not speak it, I just want you to think about it. What would they think makes you unique? Would their answers be the same as you would have answered? So if I would have said, this is what makes me unique and all of that, and if I go and check it out with maybe 5, 10 different people, there has to be, concurrence between the two. It has to have some similarities, some overlapping. Otherwise, please remember, there is a delta between what you think about yourself and what others think. And that delta has to be as minimal as possible. The difference between your perception and your reality. Remember, my dear friends, reality, your intent may be of gold, but no one is bothered about it. Perception is reality. So ensure that you are building a perception about you, which is the real you. Very important, and I hope I'm able to put my thoughts across to you. Second point. What does personal branding do? It puts focus and attention on our reputation. And I said I'm going to share with you the reputation funnel. And that would be a very interesting concept for most of you. How do I build that and ensure that the other people see us as we want them to see? Again, the delta between your intent and your perception has to be as wide as possible or as narrow as possible. It has to be as narrow as possible. Because remember, one more time, your intent may be of gold, but what is the perception people have about you? That is reality. That perception could be right, that perception could be wrong. Right or wrong does not matter. Your reputation precedes you. So when you send your resume to a particular company, the way you write an email is preceding you. How you write your CV. Like I get so many requests on LinkedIn and I accept all of them. And the minute I accept, I would get a message on LinkedIn saying that, sir, please help me with a job. Hello, I don't even know you. And I wonder, why is someone not teaching this young boy or young girl that you just don't connect with someone because you want a job? How do I recommend someone I don't even know? Would you recommend someone that you don't even know? That's a question I generally ask them. And when they push, I just give them a standard answer. Apply on the company's website. That's the best way to get started. So if I want someone to recommend me, if I want someone to hire me, if I want someone to have a relationship with me, if I want someone to associate with me, I need to first build my brand. I need to first build that credibility, the trust factor that we spoke about. I have absolutely no idea. They'll say that because of Corona and this and that, I've lost my job and I am in severe difficulty. I need help. I can empathize with that person, but how do I recommend? So when you are building your brand on the social media, please remember there is a way to build it. Build your network and build relations with them. Just don't be an opportunistic person because it is hurting your reputation. Next point. Let us now learn how to promote ourselves with credibility and passion. Very important. And if you are here on the call, please pay attention. We are going to learn something which hopefully is going to help you just not today, but in times to come as well. Would you agree with this?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so if yes, then tell me, what is the difference between building influence and trying to convince? Trying to influence someone versus trying to manipulate someone. Please share this with an example. And I'm listening.
I may be wrong, but convincing is direct and influence is indirect. So now example, I want to convince Anand to come to the seminar with me. So I'll be like, Anand, please come, and the speaker is the qualifications of the speaker or something like that, I would say. But in influence, I I would do things, and you will see the results of it, and maybe that is why from the next time you will be convinced to come.
Okay, so that's a good attempt. It's a good attempt. So it shows me how you think. Remember, one competency that all of you should develop, all young boys and girls, you need to have the ability to think on our feet. Thinking on our feet is a competency that tells me that I have the ability to think and then process those thoughts and convert that into a language and present it in an impactful manner. It's also called a cold call. Cold call, not from a sales angle point of view, but suddenly in your office or in an interview, someone asks you a question that you're not prepared for. So you need to have the ability to think on your feet, right? So good, Prakriti, I like the way you kind of at least articulated your thoughts. Okay, I'm not saying whether it is right or wrong, but some inputs between influence and convincing. Okay, so tell me, what is the difference between influencing and manipulating? Do you manipulate with your resume? Most of you, yes. Please remember, it is not going to help you. Please never Google the format of a resume. The person who is taking your interview has seen more Diwalis than you have seen. You may have bursted more firecrackers, but that person has lost some hair on his head, and he knows a few things that you don't know. So don't manipulate. Manipulation is doing things right. Influence is doing the right things. Manipulation is playing win-lose. Influencing is playing win-win. Convincing is short-term. Influencing is long-term. Convincing is based basically on the premise of bargaining. Influencing is based on negotiating, so on and so forth, right? So the word that I'm using here is influence, and I need to build influence. And there is this influence versus interest metrics. So on the y-axis, if I have influence, and on the x-axis, let us say if I have, let me use a different color, interest. If this is high interest, high influence, this is low influence, this is high interest, this is low interest. Now think about people who are your stakeholders, people whom you have to influence to get the job done or get hired. So think about the influence that person has on the organization and the interest he or she has in you as a person. I'm not talking about being interested personally. I'm talking about the fact that whether he wants or she wants you to do well in life. So imagine if you have a person who is in this quadrant, means he has high interest but low influence. How will you communicate with this person? Think about this person. This person has high interest and high influence. How would your communication strategy be different from this person to this person? Think about someone who is here, someone who has high influence but is not interested in helping you, is not interested in you. What will be your communication strategy here? And look at this quadrant where the person has low interest and low influence. Because you will have people in all these 4 quadrants. So if I have got someone that I know who is here, he has low influence. But in times to come, maybe his influence is going to go up. Look at this person. He or she may not be interested in me right now, but maybe in times to come, that interest will go up. So when we look at this particular slide, I have to build influence. So building influence also requires me to understand the influence and interest metrics, which I just shared with you. And it has to be coupled with, it has to be supported by a compelling personal brand. So I hope you have made that note on that interest versus influence metric. It's the a very, very important thing. And if you need help, you can always reach out to me personally. I will help you. So if you
Anand,
have, yes,
sorry, please continue.
then you can say, no worries.
I just had a thought that just a few minutes back you taught us about delta, right? The difference between intent and perception. So in that low interest quadrants, the first and the fourth, I think we just have to make sure that our delta is minimized, because only
How?
then will
That's a
they.
good thought, but how? So you will have to communicate, right?
Yes.
Nothing is going to happen without communication. Hence, it is said communication is the most important skill that if I were to advise any one of you young boys and girls, please build communication skills. And communication skills is just not speaking skills. That's just a very small, minuscule element of communication skills. So your point is fantastic, Prakriti, that I need to minimize this delta as much as possible. But the question is how? What will be my strategy? Why should that person even listen to me? Are you there with me? Because that person has 1,000 things on his plate to complete. And there would be 1,000 Anand Bhatnagars reaching out to him and wanting him to have interest in me and wanting him to hire me or recommend me or promote me or whatever it is. So one of the concepts that we are going to learn in this series, and please don't miss the next 2 or 3 sessions. It is going to be a powerful session where we will talk about the concept of surplus society and how I can move out of the surplus society and create a different image for myself. How do I actually stand out from the crowd? That's the brand. So I would want you to think about it, and you all have my contact number. Message me, we will schedule a time. I'll be more than happy to help and guide you in this. This is critically important. The 4 quadrants, while ideally speaking, everyone should be in this quadrant. Everyone should have high influence and high interest. But that does not happen. We don't live in an ideal world. People may have perceptions about me or you which may not be the correct perception, because of which they may not be interested in me. I need to correct that perception. Hence, if I don't get a second chance to correct that impression, I need to realize the importance of that core statement on which we are building the session, that I will not get a second chance to make my first impression. I need to get it right the first time. And most are not able to do it. And hence there are many deserving candidates who don't get a job, who don't get that promotion, who don't get that increment, who don't get that lateral movement or whatever it is. So think about it. That's a good point, Prakriti, but you need to understand the how part. We need to move from our conceptual clarity, now getting into the execution space, the implementation space, make it more practical and pragmatic. I want you to think about it, and in case you don't have any answers, reach out, I'll help. Remember, we
Thank you.
covered this. Remember, a personal brand is an expectation of the experience. I said this a while back, and we also covered this in the first series. If I can add this word here, the my personal brand, your personal brand, a personal brand is an expectation of an experience. And this you are communicating. So think about the promise that you are making in that communication, and how would I as a recruiter, how would I as a stakeholder, how would you as a recruiter, as you as a stakeholder would feel if you were to hire me, if you were to employ me, if you were to promote me, recommend me. What is that feeling that I'm communicating? In the first session, if you were there, that was, I think so, I don't know, 2 or 3 Sundays back, we said, what do I stand for? A brand is also something that I stand for. And what were the points that we covered there? Anyone? What do I stand for? To help you remember that, that list started with quality. Please check your notes. I'm listening. At least attempt. मैं सुन रहा हूँ, कान लगा के मैंने सुन रहा हूँ मैं. What do I stand for? Please remember, please make notes. So when we talk about this particular point, that I need to create this, a compelling personal brand, I will be able to create a compelling personal brand only by communicating what I stand for. How will you communicate this particular point, that my personal brand is an expectation of an experience? It's a promise. It's a promise of, let's say, quality. It's a promise of, let's say, excellence. It's a promise of responsiveness. It's a promise of innovation. It's a promise of leadership. It's a promise of being trustworthy. It's a promise of character. So what is that promise that you're communicating? And please remember, you have very, very little time to do all this. The way you write your resume, please remember this, builds an image about you in the mind of your stakeholder. A stakeholder is a person who has influence on the decision that can be in your favor or against you, and that decision is important, critical for your future success. So am I a brand that promises quality? Now you are sitting in front of that interviewer for the first time, and in a matter of few minutes, I should be able to communicate this to the other person. How do I do it? How would the other person feel when he or she is hiring you? What expectation of experience am I communicating? And the points that I just shared here. Yeah, so please think about it. You can add a few things. You can add, why would the other person recommend me? And many of you who are yet to be married, you are single, why should a person marry you? What is the expectation of the experience that you're communicating with that other person, so that he or she and his or her family build that trust in you that you are the right person for his or her daughter or son? how would the other person feel? How would your stakeholders feel is an important point that I need to take care of. Please remember this. I've said this multiple times. It's a brand of a reputation, of a legacy, and it tells what they can expect from us. So be careful about what you do on the social media, your Facebook posts. Today, when reference check happens, it is just not calling the people that you have mentioned as references. In case it's your first job, in case it's a second job, it's just not that your future employer will call your current or previous employer and check about you. That's definitely going to happen. But we also need to be cognizant of the fact that our social media presence has built a brand. And what do we comment? What do we follow? What do we look at? All that is there. Nothing is incognito. Remember that. If you are present on the social media, you already have a brand for yourself. And we need to be very, very clear about it. So what I'm sharing with you may sound very simple, but my dear friends, is definitely not easy. We will look at this slightly later. Now think about this. Wherever you are right now in your career, how did you get here? I'm sure not many of you like me. I, as a student in school and college, I was a student of grace. Do you know what is meaning of the sentence being a student of grace? I would get 33 marks, 32 marks, and during our days, the passing mark used to be 35. And I'll go to my teacher and say, Madam, Sir, no mark. And I would influence that teacher of mine to give me those 2 additional marks of grace. And that is how I am where I am today, a person of grace. You will not understand, that's okay. So I'll go to my teacher and say that, Madam, I know, sir, you know you love me. You love me so much, but I don't know whether you love me so much that you will tolerate me for 1 more year. They'll say, no way, we cannot tolerate you for 1 more year. So I said, 2 mark de do.
Anand, why did you say you influenced your teacher? Didn't you convince them?
No, I was negotiating. I was talking long term because 1 year is a long term.
Okay.
If he was not influenced, if I was short term, then maybe he would have to tolerate me for 1 more year.
No, thank
And no teacher would want me for 1 more year. So say that, tu aage ja. I would say, thank you. So nice of you. Thank you, but no thank you. Anyways, right? So think about this question. And the question, jokes apart, boys and girls, is did you design your career? So is it by design or is it by default? Is it by choice or is it by chance? For many of us, it's a matter of chance. It's more of default. But we need to learn to design it. We need to make sure that we are building a career out of a choice, not just chance. Yeah, and I spoke about this. This is not a great thing to do, right? Let me move a bit further. Okay, so what I did this, the last 2 slides were on the topic of diagnosis. Can anyone tell me what is diagnosis? In simple words, I'm listening. Think of the last 2 slides that I shared with you.
To identify what is a issue or
Sorry,
problem.
speak a bit loudly.
To identify what is a problem or situation.
To identify what is the problem or situation. Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. What else is diagnosis?
Sir, to analyze.
Analyze what?
Analyze that what is wrong.
Or what is right also, no? It's not
Yeah,
always what
yes.
is wrong. Yeah. So diagnosis is always today and the past. Yes or no? And that was what the last two slides were. And all English medium students, what is the opposite of diagnosis? We are talking about this word. Where do I want to be going forward? So if diagnosis is of the past, what is the word that we use when we talk about the future?
Prognosis.
Correct. Very nice. Prognosis. So the prognosis is what we would want to be. Many of us get trapped into the past. And I said this before, that the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. The past is a place I learn from, not a place where I live. I need to move on and focus upon prognosis. Where do I want to be going forward? The goal that I have. And the point that we are learning is taking away the randomness out of our career. Getting out of that herd mentality. And creating a niche for yourself, if you know that word. Carving out a niche for yourself. And that is going to help us articulate our game plan, our strategy. And very important, this line is very, very important. You never make decisions as far as career is concerned on emotions. You always make informed decisions. And I'm going to help you with that. So stay with us on this. Now you may have heard this. If not, you will definitely hear it. People asking you this question. They will also replace the first word and ask you this question. Where do you want to be in 5 years? What will be your answer? Anyone? Who do you want to be in 5 years from now? Knock, knock, knock. Anyone there?
Sir, a better version of ourselves.
Correct. What is the better version of yourself? That's a good tagline to have. But you will have to quantify it. You will have to substantiate it. It cannot just be a subjective statement. It has to be an objective statement. It just
Being a
cannot be a
little more
qualitative statement.
self-disciplined. Being a
Again,
little more self-disciplined.
what do you mean a little more self-discipline?
Sir, what we are today means आज
So what is
जितने
that?
डिसिप्लिन जितने
So,
डिसिप्लिन में उससे तो ज्यादा ही होना चाहिए,
तो
डिक्रीज नहीं
डिसिप्लिन का
होना चाहिए.
मतलब क्या होता है?
The way you live your everyday life.
No. So याद रखो बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, ये अगर आप ध्यान से नहीं सुन रहे हो, जब नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी ना, तब आनंद भटनागर के बहुत सारी चीजें आपको याद आएगी. ये हमें सीखना पड़ेगा कि हाउ डू वी आंसर क्वेश्चंस. You do not open up a possibility of you being rogered. Because आपने ये statement बोला, I want to be a little bit more disciplined. Now I will stick on to that question and I will ask you 10 questions out of it, and you will get all confused. So that is why I said, please don't give me Googled answer. Please don't give me cliches. Please don't give me taglines. Tell me about you, your brand. What kind of person you would want to be in 5 years? Where would you want to be in 5 years? Please think about it. It is okay if you don't know the answers of this at this point in time. It's absolutely fine. But if we still struggle to answer this question, maybe 6 months down the line or 1 year down the line, or whenever you get a chance to sit in either a face-to-face interview or a virtual interview, you should be able to answer these questions. And trust me, it is easy to give a face-to-face interview as compared to a virtual interview. Because you're not sure about your bandwidth, you're not sure about connection, you're not sure about the other person's connections, and your connection could be good, the other person's connection is unstable. So he or she may not understand the complete statements that you're speaking. So you have to make sure that you get it absolutely right the first time. So if you want to say that I would want to be a better version of myself, that's a good starting point. If you want to say that I would want to be a little bit more disciplined, that's a good starting point. But then you'll have to build upon it. Discipline in which area of my life? And how is it going to help the recruiter, the company that is hiring you? How does it help them? Are you with me?
Sir, to be more punctual.
Is punctuality discipline?
Yes.
No. No. So what's punctuality?
Sir, is it being on time every time?
Yeah, so that is our limited understanding of punctuality. It is just not showing up on time every time. There is so much of depth that we need to build in our understanding. Please go and read books on discipline. Unfortunately, these things have to be taught to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th students and beyond. But anyways, I and you cannot change the school system or the education system or the academia, but this is what we have to learn, my dear friends. Good that you're attempting, good that you're asking me and stating a statement so that I can push you to think deeper. Go and check this out. What would you say to this particular question? What would you say to this particular question? What are you passionate about? Except for Netflix. What will be your answer? Remember, a brand is an expectation of an experience. Every statement that you're making is building that statement. Remember, a brand is a promise that you're making. So be careful about what you say in important events such as an interview. So what are you passionate about? Anyone? You are building your value proposition. You're building a strong value proposition. Imagine you are, let us say, an HR professional, an HR student. Maybe you have done your, let's say, MBA in finance. Maybe you are an IT engineer. Maybe you are a mechanical engineer. Maybe you are an electrical engineer. Maybe you are a process person. Maybe you are a sales and marketing person. I don't know who you are, but I hope you know who you are. You know the domain in which you want to build your career. These are all various domains that we build a career. So while you are talking about you being a HR person or a sales and marketing person or a process oriented person or a process person or a finance person, so on and so forth, what will you answer to this question that what am I passionate about? Here I cannot say that I'm passionate about gaming. Here you cannot say I'm passionate about Facebook and movies. Think about it, and I'm there to help you. We are there to help you. You have my contact details. Please reach out. Think about these answers, articulate it, write it down, reach out to us. We are there to help you. I don't say I know it all. मुझे बहुत थोड़ा सा आता है. But whatever little I know, I will be more than happy to share it with you, that so that you can build your strong value proposition. You are positioning yourself in a manner that people will want to hire you, recommend you, promote you, so that you move onwards and upwards. Who inspires you? Anyone?
Nelson Mandela.
Why?
उन्होंने जिस
अ
तरह
नहीं
से
होना चाहिए. देखो देखो एक चीज कम्युनिकेशन में ये अ आ ई उ संगीत के साथ सुर नहीं होने चाहिए. The minute any one of you starting with okay matlab you are now building an answer in your mind. You are cooking up a story in your mind. That's the perception I am having in my mind. That may not be the reality. So no and no taking the eye contact off. So maintaining eye contact without any e, u, all that sangeet ke saath sur. Give me an answer. Who inspires you and why? And if any one of you still finding all that I'm saying not serious, please understand this. The number of people applying for a job or a position is ever expanding. The number of places for which that they are applying is always getting squeezed. So the numbers here are getting dwindled. They're getting smaller, and the people who are applying is getting larger. The base is getting larger. Why would the other person even talk to you if I'm not able to project myself as a person with confidence and conviction, with energy and motivation? And then we say, यहाँ पर तो सब लागवत से ही काम होता है. कोई कंपनी में रिक्रूटमेंट लागवत से नहीं होता है, because the company has to produce, the company needs productivity, the company needs profitability to sustain itself, and that needs competence from the person that they are hiring. I hope you are with me. Also remember, boys and girls, in school you studied about this period. Yes or no? Remember a history? What is BC?
Before Christ.
What is AD?
Anno Domini.
Correct. Now this is passé. This is over and out, done and dusted. Now you have a period which is called this, and this. What is this?
Sir, before Corona.
Absolutely. Fantastic, madam. Thank you. What is this?
During Corona.
Amazing. Very nice. And what is this?
After Corona.
Absolutely. तो आप तैयारी किसकी कर रहे हैं? आप तैयारी, मैं और आप तैयारी इस पीरियड के लिए कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पर जो चलता था अब वो नहीं चलेगा. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग ने सुना होगा द वर्ड न्यू नॉर्मल, सुना है कि नहीं सुना है? बट मैं आपको कहने वाला हूं कि ये न्यू अब नॉर्मल है, नॉर्मल जैसी कोई चीज रहने नहीं वाली है. वी आर एंटरिंग इनटू न्यू अब नॉर्मल. More and more companies are going to shut down. So, and I need to be prepared. Preparation is the key. इसके बारे में सोचिएगा. Nelson Mandela is a good answer, but why? What skills do you want to develop? So this is a horrible line. From my standard also, this was international. So my drawing is of international standard, please bear with me. So this is a vertical line. So my question to you is, if this line represents your career, working life of let's say 35 to 40 years, 35 से 40 साल के पीरियड में आपको कितना प्रमोशन मिल सकता है? Quick answer, we have about 6 minutes with us.
4 or 5.
Okay, 4 or 5. Any other answer?
10.
So now 10, okay. So let us talk about the roles that I and you will get to do in our life. And remember, I'm talking about this particular question, what skills, what talents. Yeah, I'm talking about that. चलो मैं मुझे वापस ड्रॉ करना पड़ेगा, कोई बात नहीं. So we all start at the base of the pyramid and we start doing the role of an individual contributor. That means I am responsible for the job that has been assigned to me and my performance becomes my performance. Let's take a sporting example. If you don't love cricket, I'm sorry, don't hate me for that, but I'm just giving an example to set the context for all of you. Do you know a player called Sachin Tendulkar? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rahul
Yes.
Dravid?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saurav Ganguly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My very good friend, Mr. Dhoni?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Virat
sir.
Kohli?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. So I'm just taking names. We are not interested in the person. We are interested in learning a concept. Now, all these great players, they were hired as an individual contributor. Why was Sachin selected? To score runs. Why was Dravid selected? Score runs. Ganguly, score runs. Dhoni, keep wickets. Virat Kohli, score runs. Do you agree?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now because we as people will excel in our individual contributor role, these people also excelled, so they got promoted. And in the sporting parlance, they became a captain. But in the professional world, you and I will become a manager of people. Now let us understand this in whatever little time that we have, and I'll try to make it as brief as possible. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Sachin Tendulkar?
10.
Let's say 9, because 10 is only God. No one else, no one is perfect on this world. How would you rate Dravid? Quick answer.
7.
Pardon? No, he was awesome. Come on, my dear friend. Let us say 8.5. Dravid was awesome. Ganguly as a batsman.
7.5.
Okay, 7.5. Dhoni as a keeper.
9.
9.
9.
Virat Kohli as a batsman.
9.5.
9. Okay, 9.5. Now, all these people, they excelled in their individual contributor role and they got promoted and became captain. Now, on the same scale of 1 to 10, rate Sachin as a captain. Would you rate him 9 or lesser?
Lesser.
Dravid 8.5 or lesser?
Less.
Ganguly 7.5 or more?
Higher.
7.5.
Higher. Dhoni as a keeper, Dhoni as a captain.
Higher than 9.
Higher.
9.9.
Virat Kohli batsman, Virat Kohli captain.
Lesser, little lesser. Yeah.
Little lesser or a lot lesser. I will put him a lot lesser. Right? So what are we learning? While I would be brilliant in my individual contributor role, I need to develop what we are learning here, the skills and the talents to move up in my life. And as I move from individual contributor to the manager of people role, I will have to build skills. Say yes or no?
Yes.
Now the question is, will you build skills while you are an individual contributor or after getting promoted or during transition? What will you do?
I did it much before.
Much before or in transition, yes or no?
Yes.
But what are we doing in transition? Nothing. I may not even know what skills I will need after 5 years. So from a manager of people, you become a manager of managers. From a manager of managers, you become a manager of business. From a manager of business, you get your last promotion where you get to get a role called manager of enterprise. That means you become a board of director. So we can only have 1, 2, 3, 4 promotions in life. Rest, you will have a lot of different changes in designations. They are not actually promotions. So the question is, as I aspire to move vertically in my life, lateral movement in my life is something that everyone wants. But the question is, what skills will take me there? What talents do I have that I need to grow and develop? Remember, what brought us here will not take us any further. And what are we talking about? We are talking about the personal branding process. And if I know this, then that process, dear friends, boys and girls, will be more intentional. I'll be more proactive rather than reactive. Are you there with me? So I know where I'm going. I'm doing the prognosis, not just the diagnosis. Diagnosis is good, but I cannot be staying here. I need to move forward. And as we close on the time, remember this. And if I'm not able to influence my key stakeholders, they will not hire me, they will not promote me, they will not recommend me. So I get stuck in my career. Now, do you understand this word position? Like Naina so beautifully said at the start, it is the image that we would want to build in the minds of our target audience or our stakeholders. And my last statement, which I asked, is, let me end with that statement. Prakruti, what is creditability? It is creditability is values in action. So when you say I would want to be a more disciplined person, that's a great answer. Tell the other person the actions that you're taking to become more disciplined. If you say that, yes, I would want to become a better version of myself, that's a good starting point. But tell the other person what actions you're taking to become what you're talking about. I wish I had more time to talk about all these things, but we have limited time, right? And we start on time and we end on time. I hope this is helping you. Please don't miss the next 2 or 3 sessions or 4 sessions, whatever we are going to do in this series. Anji.
The 4 questions you asked, 5 years, passionate, inspire, and skills, right? So I tried writing it down. So shall I
WhatsApp
speak
me.
out
WhatsApp.
here or WhatsApp? Okay.
You WhatsApp, because
Thank you.
that would not be the right utilization of others' time. So you use WhatsApp me. WhatsApp me. I'll help you.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome. So how many of you are finding this useful? This is, I wish someone taught me when I was 20 something. I'm still 20 something, but when I was actually 20 something.
Big hand raise. I know you can't see it.
Yeah. Thank you. I can see it with the eyes of my heart.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Naina madam, Leena madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Patel sir, back to you. If there are no questions.
I mean, it's amazing simply. I mean, I hope they really get it. Those who are present,
will.
I'm sure. I mean, that understanding would really transform them, or really you'll put them in a good career path. So, and they'll be good human being also. I mean, so it's so wonderful, so wonderful.
And this, my dear friends, I hope you realize this input is coming to you after reading I don't know how many books, watching I don't know how many TED Talks and this and that. So if not anything, it is respect the input that is coming to you.
I think those who are present, like Shivam, Prakriti, Ashish, I mean, and some of the people I may not know, but they are very regular, and Sima Man or Vishakha, each of them. Pankti, I do not know really.
Pankti ne મારે અલગથી ફોન કરવાનો છે. Pankti અને Millie, I'm not sure Millie was there on the call or not.
Ashish, you can stop.
છું ને, બસ બરાબર. નહીં તો હમણાં જ પપ્પાને ફોન કરું નહીં તો.
Ashish, can you stop the recording?
Thank you. He has paused it.